did you determine they How did you
This app does some dumb shit sometimes, man. Puts it members only. Like, why is it doing that? I have to change it because it had it set to members only for literally no reason. Like, why is it set to members only? Doesn't make any sense. Is it off now? It should be set off. Shouldn't be on members only anymore. I had to restart because Google Voice is just fucked. I don't know why it's doing this tonight, but it just literally, everything's good, ping good, everything, and then suddenly it just does this. I don't know why. Your notification worked. That's great. Talking to Trump supporters is wearing on me, folks. I'm telling you. Yeah, it shouldn't have been. I don't know why it was. Dory, what's going on? It's just talking to them, just generally speaking, is exhausting. Like it's just absolutely exhausting. It really is. It's so exhausting. It just tires me out. And if there's some like technical issue on top of everything else, it makes it so much worse. Type in chat and say that you're on here. What's up, Ivy? Tony, what's going on, Tony? Illusion, what's up? High Risk, what's going on? Believe me, talking to them without lag is really hard. People, talking to them every day without lag, it's very, very difficult. Talking to them with no lag is pretty difficult. Talking to them with lag, I don't know. Like my heart has been kind of hurting lately. Like I've been having like these like sharp pains in my chest. I know it's stress related. Like I don't think I'm having a heart attack or anything, but I know it's stress related, but it's like they make it so much worse, you know? But if I do drop dead, I only ask one thing from everybody. Please do not let a bunch of creators pretend they were my best friend for clout. That's all I ask of you. You know, that's like my biggest thing is please don't let that happen. I've seen that so many times through my time as a creator. So many creators will pretend they're best friends with people who pass away. Just that would be my only request. All right. Oh, what's up, Chrissy? Nayland, thank you so much, Nayland. Ryan, I'm just going to mute you. All right. I know you're obsessed with me now. Are you the software developer? Now you can't even type in the chat. Yeah, I blocked your number. You can't ever call in again. And now no one will see you in the live because what you said was egregious. What you said was egregious. I don't know. I'm taking years off my life talking to these people. I'm telling you. Fine and dandy. Thank you for being a member for 2 months. I appreciate you. Naylin, thank you for the $4.99 super chat, Naylin. Yeah, make sure somebody sings a song in IA. I am Adam Cray. and then make an AI video of JD Vance doing it. Tomorrow I'm going to go out and get an Ethernet cable that I can run from my router to the computer to hopefully keep the the connection good. But it's not me, I'm telling you. It's something with Google Voice that sometimes just does that, and I don't know why. I really don't. Misperception, thank you for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate you. Yeah, do that, Illusion. Use it. Use it. Go live and say, I used to be the person who gave Adam pointers. So this whole situation is like, have you ever considered doing landscape mode? Nope. I mean, I've done it before, but I'm not doing it anymore because it's super ineffective in pushing my live out there. Everyone's online, maybe. It could be Ronnie. I don't know. To be honest. I honestly don't know. You know, the way that it's like set up is like basically I'm running all of these things at once. I really think it has to do with the Wi-Fi thing, but yeah. JTHM. Why don't you call in, JTHM? I'm willing to take a couple more calls. Dude, I was trying to debate this guy in Russia, and it was frustrating me so much because his arguments were so easily defeated. So easily defeated. He's like, no, there's no treaty. You just said the expansion, the invasion of Russia was due to overexpansion of NATO. If there's no binding agreement, why would you even mention that unless you're a Putin simp? Yeah, it's really the opposite. People aren't online social media wise. They're more or less just using their data in areas, and I live in a city, so I don't talk to MAGA intentionally. Yeah, it's, you know, always been bad. It was never this bad. It's exceptionally bad now. Then why are you in here, JTHM? If you don't like my content, why are you in here crying? Do you realize, like, that doesn't make any sense? That's like me watching a TV show every day. Like, man, I hate this TV show. But every day, you're in here. Doesn't make any sense, dude. You got to find something better to do. You got to find something better to do. You're getting a major snowstorm in Connecticut? Damn. I heard New York City's getting a major snowstorm. Is that true? Trump didn't leave NATO, raccoon. Oh my God. Somebody in chat just said Trump left NATO. They didn't leave NATO. What are you talking about? God, it's so dumb. Makes my head hurt. Yes, what's your name, friend?
My name is Scott Center. I live in Indiana.
Your name is what?
I want to commend you on your program. Yes.
I didn't hear your name.
Scott Center, Center.
Scott Centers. That sounds like a store. What's up, Scott?
I'm a very religious man, and Trump doesn't have any morals. If people would read Revelations and Matthew 24, that's where we're at. And Trump has led us there. And the Bible says not to hate, and it's hard. It's the hardest thing in the world to do, but I don't hate him. I pray for him.
I'll be clear. I hate him. So I'll be clear about that. I hate him.
Well,
so yeah. I have no problem saying that. I absolutely can't stand him, as a matter of fact.
Well, my religion goes very deep, and it's hard not to hate somebody that's doing what he's doing.
Right.
I pray for him to do better,
Well,
which
I hate to
probably
say
is
that,
useless.
Scott. Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say, Scott. And listen, you do you, whatever makes you feel better. But remember, that's for you. It's not for him. There's no saving that, And so,
Well,
in my
I
opinion,
don't think either,
your time is better spent
but
using your vote to vote in the midterms. Are you going to vote in the midterms?
no, I'm not going to vote y'all.
Well, could I change your mind on that?
This thing, if you look back, what it began way back there, and it's in the Bible. It's going on no matter what politics, and because there's always crooked people, and they're on both sides. And according to the Bible, they will take over, and all we can do is get prepared, and we fight it. But if you read the Bible straight, we can't win. God will win. We'll win in the end. But the good people is going to win.
Well, I appreciate you calling in, Scott, and I wish that was true, but unfortunately, I'm hoping so. But I think that winning relies on you participating in our elections, and not praying, right? Like praying doesn't do anything, in my opinion. Voting does, though. Getting out and participating, voting does. Why can't you do both?
Well, if I vote, I want to vote for the man that I know, and I know is right. And I don't know. There's some mixed up. They get bought out by Trump. Money is talking.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you calling in, Scott. Take care of yourself, all right? How old are you, Scott?
I'm 85.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck to you, all right?
Bad health.
Bad health.
And
okay. Well, good luck to you, all right?
Well, okay.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in my opinion, I have no problem with you praying. If you want to pray and that's something you want to do, sure. But I think you need to do both, right? Like voting is very important. We can't pray ourselves to kindness. We can't pray ourselves to a better future. We have to vote ourselves into a better situation. And it's going to involve convincing specifically people on the right that billionaires don't care about you. Wealthy people don't care about you. Like I said earlier, you know who's not in the files? The transgender community. You know who's not in the files? Drag queens. You know who's not in the files? Undocumented immigrants. You know who's not in the files? Dishwashers and blue-collar workers. You know who's not in the files? Tradesmen. It's us against them. You guys make it too much about political parties. And you think of it as like a team mentality, red versus blue. It's rich and everyone else. And they have convinced you they're on your side. They are not on your side. And they never will be. They're playing you. That's what they're doing. They're playing you. And sadly, you're falling for it. I don't know if it's this sense of belonging. I don't know. You know who's not in the files? Actually, murderers are in the files. So that's kind of...
Call from.
Murderers are in the files. Are you a Trump supporter?
I actually am just calling because I was listening to
the guy talking about Iran earlier.
Yeah, what's going on? MG Patch, thank you for the cash. I appreciate you.
Okay, yeah. I mean, who can sit there and say that Ukraine is ever going to get their territory back? You know.
What does
First of all,
Iran have
that
to
was
do?
another.
What does Iran have to do with Ukraine?
I know he went from Iran to Ukraine, and I just wanted to get that out there. Like, there's no way Ukraine's ever going to get their territory back.
That's not true.
Right now.
What territory?
I think we could both agree on it.
No, I disagree. So
the territory that they lost, like the
yeah, 100%. I don't think they. How much of the Donbass region does Russia currently control?
100%.
No, 90%. Do you think they should assume? Do you think they should be allowed to consume 90%? Should we be drawing the battle line? Should we be drawing the resolution at the battle lines? No, of course not.
No, I disagree that they should never, or I agree that they should never have taken it, right?
Right.
But at the same time, they did. That's a reality.
And
right?
I understand that, but what I'm saying is you don't need to, the resolution doesn't need to be drawn at the battle lines. You don't need to concede 90% of the Donbass region, but more importantly, what is the significance of the Donbass region and what is the effect on their economic viability? If they surrender 90% of the Donbass region, they cease to exist a decade from now without significant international support. You can't surrender 90% of the Donbass region. It's not an opinion, it's a fact. If they surrender 90% of the region, they can't recover economically.
Yeah, but they're getting all kinds of help from the international community, especially Europe,
not
USA.
permanently.
Not permanently, but
so they will die
enough to for the next decade or so to.
Not even.
Okay.
So countries relying on international support will not survive. They need if they
not as it is now.
If the United States surrendered their economic heartland, you would expect them to die, right? Secondly, we're not talking about a country that is just existing. They have to recover. Their infrastructure has been destroyed. I mean, it's going to be a long crawl back, and they're going to need a solid economy to accomplish that goal.
I agree. But even if they do get that territory back, that territory is so torn up right now that it would cost billions of dollars to even just get the UXO out, the unexploded ordnance. That would be a huge ordeal in itself.
But I think that's where we're talking about international support. But in terms of we need to make sure that this doesn't ultimately weaken their sovereignty. You want to be able to walk away from this situation and not have to. Hold on. You want to worry about the ultimate goal here is what? Walk away from this situation without having to deal with this in 6, 7, 8 years again, right?
Oh, this isn't going to end anytime probably in our lifetime.
Well,
this is going to be drug out for decades.
That's because there's ineffective negotiating happening. It doesn't have to be that way, but it's that way because Donald Trump doesn't know how to negotiate. Okay, you can't.
What is the alternative, though? The only way
security
that they're going to get their territory back.
Security assurances,
which we are doing right now.
Maintaining economic viability. That's the way.
And Ukraine still has their sovereignty.
But you cannot survive.
Ukraine might have lost territory,
excuse me, sir.
It can be argued that has won the war. They lost a lot of territory.
Okay, but the point is, I'm saying that the concessions can't be what they are. Okay, you can't make such enormous territorial concessions in regards to your economic heartland and expect to survive long term. They need to hold firm and say, hey, we're not going to surrender this territory. We need security assurances.
Can I just point out?
Can I please continue? You had an agreement in place in the Budapest Memorandum with no available enforcement mechanism. You've seen security agreements, right, that were vague, not work out. We're a few years into this war, 4 years into this war, And already nobody, you're tired of supporting them. So we need security assurances, right, that involve NATO, right, that involve enforcement mechanisms. We need to make sure we don't weaken their economic viability and ultimately weaken their sovereignty, so the United States doesn't need to come to their rescue in a decade.
Their economic viability has already been, screwed over.
But that doesn't mean you
like
concede the
what's
territory.
The alternative?
Oh my God, you don't concede the territory.
But, they didn't. Nobody conceded the territory. It was
That's
taken
what Russia
by force.
Wait. Russia. Okay, that doesn't.
I think we can both agree with that,
sir. That doesn't mean it needs to be a part of the deal, right? Trump wants to do that at the battle lines. It doesn't need to be drawn at the battle lines. You don't have to concede that territory. You can tell them to leave.
Can I just point out that these are concessions that Ukraine government has already agreed to?
No, what are you talking about? They have not agreed to territorial concessions. They have serious.
No, they're ready.
Yes, without certain territorial concessions that Russia wants. What are you talking about?
It will be disputed. The Ukrainians will dispute it.
They
I'm
have.
saying the Ukrainians
They've
will
already
dispute
come
it,
out and said we're not making the concessions they want us to make. We want further security assurances. Russia has not agreed.
No, Ukraine is ready to end the war right now.
Yes,
yes,
under their circumstances. They're not willing to meet Russia's demands. That's why it's not over yet.
Well, Russia's demands is taking over the entire country. Obviously, we're not going to concede to those demands.
That's not their demand.
But at the same time, oh, it was at the beginning of the war.
No, it wasn't.
We can both agree that
at the beginning of the war, but have you read the 28-point piece?
To take over Ukraine.
Not at the beginning of the at the beginning of the war, sure. No. Have you read the 28-point peace plan? It wasn't even the demand.
It still is.
Okay. So they certainly want to retain sovereignty, right? Ukraine wants to retain sovereignty over the territory it has, right? Okay? That at minimum.
Currently, yeah.
But there's issues, right, with parts of the Donbass region, okay? They want free economic zones. But Russia has to withdraw from these occupied...
demilitarized zone, yep.
Right. So Russia has to withdraw from these occupied...
I don't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you are, though. That's the problem. Russia has to withdraw from these areas, right?
Yeah. But that, at the same time, I mean, what is the alternative? What is the solution that doesn't put NATO into direct war with Russia?
Okay, Russia has to reciprocate.
The security agreements are a good start.
Russia doesn't want
stop them from taking over Kiev.
Let's see if Russia agrees, and we have to see what Russia agrees to.
Yeah,
Russia the
Russia
major sticking
wants what Russia wants.
The major sticking point with Ukraine is they're unwilling to surrender fortified positions. Okay, they don't want to accept their demands. Russia has said we're not altering our demands. You need to accept these demands. That's where they're at right now. It's a stalemate.
Yep.
So what does that mean? What does that mean? Ukraine.
Few years ago,
what does that mean?
Listen,
Ukraine.
They made a memorandum a few years ago that says.
Guys,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just trying to explain to you that Ukraine is resisting the pressure to concede the Donbass. Like I said from the beginning, right? They want to maintain their sovereignty.
They don't want to concede it.
Yeah, Russia wants them to concede the Donbass. Ukraine does not want to concede the Donbass. Okay, so they're pushing for solutions that preserve its sovereignty. That's the only reason they're doing that.
Nobody lives in the Donbass. No Ukrainians are living in the Donbass except a very small.
Why is the Donbass important to Ukraine?
Well, their territory, obviously, but at the same time, it's important to Russia. And we have facts on the ground. The facts on the ground are that Donbass is controlled by the Russian military, and Russia made a memorandum a few years ago that says all current Russian territory can never be ceded at all for any reason. So the only other option besides, diplomacy that's happening right now is that it's taken militarily by force. And to be honest, Donbass is just not worth that headache.
Yeah, you don't know. You're wrong.
To anybody.
You're wrong.
Even the Ukrainians are like...
You're wrong.
No, even the Ukrainians are like...
That's not what they're saying. That's not what they're saying. They're quite literally...
NATO is saying...
Okay, then why do they want to demilitarize?
NATO is saying they're not going to go fight Russia.
Ukraine has agreed to, in principle, to the idea of a demilitarized economic zone in the Donbass. But that's only if Russia reciprocates. Why is the Donbass region critical to Ukraine? I don't think you understand the importance here.
No, I understand the importance, but even if the demilitarized is implemented...
Can you explain its importance, please, for
even
the
if
chat?
the demilitarized zone, the Donbass importance?
Yes.
Obviously, it's important to the Ukraine because it was their territory. It was a huge economic blow when it got taken over.
Right. But what is it rich in? It literally, there are
natural resources.
Right. There are critical minerals vital for the country's economy and energy independence. Without it, they get swallowed.
Well, now
it's their... Excuse me.
I mean, if we're being very honest, now it's vital to the Russian
industrial
economy.
Base. It powers their manufacturing economy. Okay, their export sectors. They can't survive moving
before they
forward,
lost it.
which is okay. So then you're talking about Trump's solution, drawing the lines at the battle lines. I disagree. That's not a long-term solution without international support to maintain their economic viability. You're still saying the same thing. I'm telling you, they cannot recover. You want to stop supporting Ukraine, but yet you're trying to force them to sign a deal that ultimately weakens their sovereignty. I don't need to listen. I know what I'm talking about.
I think you're under the illusion that it's just Trump's solution. No, I think you're under the illusion that it's just Trump's solution.
I said Russia's.
No, you said it was Trump's solution.
No, what I said is Trump is supporting the idea that Russia needs to cede the territory, and that ultimately weakens their sovereignty.
Oh, their sovereignty was weakened back when the war started. I mean, we can all agree that Ukraine is still a sovereign state, right? But looking at the facts, the cold hard facts, is that Donbass now belongs to Russia. And the only alternative, maybe a demilitarized zone will take the troops out, but it's still going to be under Russian control.
But so again, I'm not sure you understand what they're asking for here. I think you're a little lost.
Russia?
No, Ukraine. They want an economic zone. Why do you think they want to establish a free economic zone if Russia withdraws? Because they can't recover economically. This goes back to what I'm saying. Russia has not agreed to that portion of the deal. That's the major sticking point in the negotiation.
Because Russia knows that Ukraine can't recover it militarily. I mean,
whatever. That's not a good thing.
It's the cold hard facts.
That's not a good thing. They have
no, it's not. But
again, do you find it okay? But I was simply pointing out, right, that they have these demands, right, that we get, maximum benefits in these negotiations, and that's only happening because Donald Trump didn't maintain clear boundaries with Russia. And by the way, you said the Donbass belongs to Russia. No, it doesn't, according to international law. Apparently, you don't care. You keep saying they're a sovereign nation. Well, according to international law, Donbass is recognized to this day as a part of Ukraine. Russia can attempt to annex
Ukrainian
whatever they
territory.
want. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm just simply pointing out the fact legally it is not their territory.
But
now they're
everything
bending
you said
a little
also applied to Crimea.
Okay, that's fine. But the point is that we're talking about in terms of maintaining their economic viability, it's important moving forward. They don't want to be in a position, by the way, this is coupled with very vague security assurances. So you're putting them in a position which they can't recover economically, you've destroyed their infrastructure, and then they have no security assurance when Putin decides, hey, look, they're dying, let's invade them now. Now's the chance we can take them. And then he swallows Ukraine, and guess what? Our young men are going to be dying in Moscow. I don't want U.S. soldiers dying in Poland or dying in Moscow 10 years from now, 7 years from now.
No, neither do I. I agree. But, I mean, there's only two options here, and it's either cede the territory, let the Russians, do what they're going to militarize zone, or try to take it back militarily.
Okay.
And that's just not.
Listen, I disagree with you.
No one's going to go to war
I disagree with
Russia.
you. I don't think that's the only options. I think doing this.
We could. Maybe we could.
We could what?
I mean, what are the options? He said do it,
I think at this point,
what are the options?
Okay, without turning back the hands of time, what are the options? I think obviously the United States needs to back Russia in these negotiations. That's number one. If Ukraine insists on retaining sovereignty over that territory, right, and opposes any forced withdrawal or cession to Russia, I think the United States needs to support that. Right? I think they need to support Ukraine's idea of demilitarizing parts of the Donbass to remain their economic viability. And if that doesn't happen, I think the United States will ultimately end up in World War III. And that's in the United States is taking an unbiased position. I understand what you're saying, but if I could turn back the hands of time, I would say let's not sit down with Vladimir Putin. Let's continue to support Ukraine and allow them to fight as long as they want to fight moving forward. We had signs of depletion. We knew Russia was using tankers from World War II, 1940 era tankers. We knew the morale was low. Russia was not doing well. It's not like they were dominating, and so I think that they wouldn't have been able to maintain this much longer, and ultimately you could have, I guess, hoped for an internal coup or something alike. But regardless, I don't think that signing an agreement that ultimately makes them weaker, right, and more unable to defend themselves from future threats is an agreement the United States should be supporting, as Poland borders Ukraine and ultimately will cause the United States to end up in World War III.
I don't think that's the case, because I don't think the Trump administration has outright come out and said, hey, we're going to cut all support for Ukraine. Which I'm pretty sure they haven't. Right?
Well, they have. They did it in the Oval Office. They were pretty clear. Ukraine better agree to this deal, otherwise we're going to have a problem. He literally said you're going to be on your own. I mean, word for word. You will be on your own, he said to Zelensky. So
in the end, I don't think it matters much if the United States just pulled all support out from Ukraine. Because you're not NATO, not the European.
But let me say one more thing before I go here, and I have to say this. I just want you to keep this in mind before I leave. Maybe not now, but if you swallow Ukraine and you have a stronger foothold in the region, our intelligence says they absolutely would attack Poland. So just remember that. All right?
I'm sure. Always knew that the entire thing was to make a buffer zone all the way to the Carpathian Mountains.
Well, of course.
It makes sense militarily.
Right.
And they already have troops in Moldova. This was decades in the making. This doesn't, you can't really blame Trump, can't blame the current European leaders. I feel like Putin had this in his mind like decades ago.
I do blame Putin, but the problem is most of MAGA doesn't, and that's the problem. I have to go though, dude. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate you. Take care. All right, guys. Thanks for coming today. Appreciate you. I have to pop off here. I'm tired now. Been talking to these guys, and Google Voice has been weird as fuck today, but I appreciate you for coming, and thank you, everybody. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting the gifting goal and all that stuff. Misperception and illusion. Thank you. Appreciate you, and I will see you guys at some point. Guys, make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you hit the notification bell, so that way you can know when I go live. Because if you don't hit the notification bell and the subscribe button, you're not going to know when I go live. So I don't want you guys to miss it. I'm going to try and stream tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Or the weekend. But thanks, everybody. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Take care. Thank you, everybody.